Hey. Welcome back to Tech Talks, the chillest corner of the internet where we break down big tech topics like we're just hanging on the couch. I'm Sally.
And I'm Brian. Today's episode is about something that sounds kind of patriotic, but also super complicated. We're talking about the idea of a made in the USA iPhone. Is it possible? Is it just political fantasy? We've got thoughts.
So let's roll it back to 2011 when President Obama asked Steve Jobs why iPhones couldn't be made in the US, and Jobs straight up said, "Those jobs aren't coming back." Just like that. Brutal honesty.
Yup, classic Jobs. Fast forward to now, Trump's back in the headlines pushing for US-made iPhones again. He thinks we've got the resources and workers to pull it off. But do we really?
That's where it gets messy. Apple CEO Tim Cook hasn't backed the idea publicly. And analysts say it's either impossible or insanely expensive. Imagine paying $3,500 for a phone. That's not an iPhone, that's a luxury car down payment.
Right? Even just shifting a tiny part of Apple's supply chain to the US could cost tens of billions. And then you've got labor costs. Chinese workers at Foxconn make around $3.63 an hour. In California, $16.50 minimum. That's a wild difference.
And it's not just money, it's also skills. Cook even said in 2017 that America doesn't have enough tooling engineers, the folks who basically bring Apple's designs to life in physical form. In China, those engineers fill football fields. In the US, maybe a coffee shop.
That image cracked me up. Hey everyone, meet the entire tooling engineering force of America, Bob and Steve. Tears of joy.
Poor Bob and Steve, doing all the work. But seriously, Apple's whole system is built on this massive, hyper-efficient, high-speed machine of manufacturers and suppliers, and most of that is based in Asia.
Yeah, and don't forget tariffs. Since Trump's tariffs kicked in, Apple's been hit with a 145% tax on products made in China. If they tried to dodge that by building here, they'd still face tariffs on all the parts they'd need to import.
So it's either pay the tariffs or pay crazy labor and infrastructure costs. Either way, it's pricey. That's why analysts say it'd take years, if ever, to make a full transition. It's not just flipping a switch and boom, iPhone factory in Ohio.
And look at Foxconn's whole Wisconsin saga. Big plans, $10 billion investment announced, Trump hyped it like crazy, and in the end, they made face masks during the pandemic. Not exactly the iPhones we were promised.
That's such a letdown. But Apple has been doing some stuff to charm the US government, like assembling some Mac Pros in Texas, making AI server investments in Houston. It's like Cook is playing the long game. Make a few US-based moves, get those sweet tariff exemptions.
Smart strategy. Stay on Trump's good side, do some symbolic moves, but keep the real heavy lifting in Asia, where the machine's already running.
So where does that leave us? Are we ever going to see a legit, all-American iPhone?
Never say never, but if it happens, it'll probably start small. Maybe accessories like AirTags or HomePods. Definitely not the flagship iPhone. That's just way too big, way too complex.
Yeah, and until then, the iPhones in our pockets are still global citizens, designed in California, made in China, powered by parts from a dozen countries.
Exactly. They've got more stamps on their passport than I do. Cold sweat smile.
Haha, same. All right, that's all for today, folks. If you liked hanging with us, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review.
Catch you next time on Tech Talks. Stay curious, stay caffeinated, and don't drop your iPhone, especially if it's $3,500.